Over 400 years ago, a 33-year-old citizen of France landed on the shore of a new land. Even at this young age, he was a seasoned explorer and a brilliant mapmaker or cartographer. Over the next 30 years, despite hardship, deprivation, resistance from his own government, and armed conflict, he would effectively lay the initial foundation of the nation that would become known as Canada. Samuel de Champlain was born near La Rochelle, an ancient Norman enclave on the western shore of France, sometime between 1567 and 1570. We do know that he was born into a Huguenot or Protestant family, but later, in all likelihood to attain royal commissions from the government of the King of France, converted to Catholicism. He joined the French military in 1594 at about 24 years of age. Not much is known of his early life, but living near the sea, he did develop an early interest in navigation and a love of the high seas. According to Britannica, he quickly acquired a reputation as a navigator. In 1599, he was part of a Spanish expedition into the Caribbean region. This initial journey captivated him. A Canadian Museum of History article notes, "During his travels to the Americas, Champlain encountered many new and wondrous things, landscapes, animals, plants, and people. He recorded much of what he saw and experienced. Traveling through the Caribbean for the King of Spain, he witnessed the Spanish mistreating the First Peoples. When his turn came to lead expeditions to the Americas and establish a settlement for the King of France, Champlain adopted a different approach altogether." The article goes on to describe how Champlain met the indigenous inhabitants of what is now Nova Scotia, or Quebec, as equals, and generally had good relations and agreements with the peoples where he established trading posts and settlements. This would prove to be a decisive factor in the survival of French settlements, which eventually became New France. For his work in the West Indies, he was given an honorary title at the French court of Henry IV, which placed him in the company of Pierre de Monts, taking part in establishing the first French colony in Acadia at Port Royal, Nova Scotia, in 1604. Champlain endured 3 brutal winters in Acadia, during which the majority of the colonists died of starvation or disease. Returning to France, he received a charter to establish a colony along the shore of the River of Canada, now known as the St. Lawrence. This dangerous project was commenced in 1608, with the grand total of 32 colonists. Of those 32, by the spring of the next year, only Champlain and 8 others survived. A few colonists were added in the following years. Champlain and the colonists were supported by the local Algonquin peoples, who were in the middle of a long-running war with the Iroquois from the south and west. Champlain helped defeat an Iroquois force and cemented an alliance with the Algonquin and Huron peoples, but earned the animosity of the Iroquois. Between 1611 and 1628, Champlain had to defend the settlement from the Iroquois, and also from those at the French court who felt the colony was a failure economically. He persisted in the struggle to build the fur trade with new partners and fend off attempts to abandon the colony. In 1628, the small colony was captured by an English force after a lengthy siege. Champlain became a prisoner in England, but successfully argued that the colony was captured after hostilities between France and England had formally ended. Hence, the colony was returned to French authority. He returned in 1633 for the last time after publishing his 7th book. Champlain not only took part in at least 30 crossings of the Atlantic, an amazing feat of survival in those days, but traveled thousands of kilometers inland, creating detailed maps in the process, which proved invaluable to future explorers and even in treaty negotiations with the British over a century and a half later. These maps were drawn in the days before accurate measures could be made of the longitude of a position, how far east or west one is. but were still amazingly precise for their time, an attestation to his genius, since he had to use little more than a mariner's astrolabe and recording notes for his work. While his colony was still small when he died in Quebec in 1635, its foundation was firm, a testimony to a man of vision, courage, devotion, and dedication to hard work, who refused to give up even when things looked impossible. He is correctly called the father of New France, and indeed one of the founders of the nation that has become Canada today. He is an example of the vision and motivation that seem to be lacking in our world today, trusting that a hard struggle to achieve a goal will not be in vain, no matter what the outcome. Long ago, King Solomon was inspired to write, "All hard work brings a profit, but mere talk leads only to poverty." Champlain's life is a lesson, especially for young men today, that if we focus on hard work in an honorable way, we too can achieve that which is productive, and we can have a good name before God and men.
If you liked this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And for more content like this, please visit our website at tomorrowsworldviewpoint.org.